Hi, everybody. Good morning. It is Friday. Finally. I'm Tanya Baldwin, and I'm from Mind, Body, Spirit, Healthy Self, and I'm also the host of Trauma Talk Live. Although my reels are just called Trauma Talk. Welcome to the show. Every morning I do tarot card pulls. I shouldn't say tarot. I do oracle card pulls and one tarot, 2 oracle and a tarot. That's what I pull in the morning. And if you're interested in getting an oracle card pulled for you, just let me know. But please let me know your name in the comment, because not everybody, I can see their username. You have to allow StreamYard to have permission to share your username. So we'll see. We'll see if I see it. If not, I'll just let you know that I don't know your name. The cards that I pulled today, I feel like it's a big message for somebody, and I don't know if this is the message for you or not, but it's a big message. And the other thing that I wanted to say was thank you for all of those who have been voting for me in the Fab Over 40 contest. I am in the top 10 section now, so the next cut will be for the top 5, and then from there on, I'll keep posting on what the next stages are, because I don't remember them all. But I thank everybody that's voted and supported me in this. I really do hope that I win, because I think that for my company, having that 2-page spread in a magazine would be just such an amazing opportunity to talk about who I am and showcase my stuff. So let's go ahead with the reading. Now, this card I have pulled a few times for myself, and whenever I pull it, it always makes me feel like a little sad, and then I have to think about what it's referring to. The card that I pulled is not for you. So for whoever this is resonating with or going to show up for, take what resonates and let go of what doesn't, but it's a message. Okay. So the essential meanings is a clear knowing that something is being denied you. Rejection is God's protection. And there are many times when that happens, when you think this job is, it's a job that's providing me with money or allowing me to have, a cardinal, like an actual cardinal just landed on the tree out there, and that's something to behold. I haven't seen a cardinal in quite some time, so quite nice to see that. Sorry, squirrel. I do have ADHD. I will acknowledge that in this moment. I apologize. But the birds are very, very active out there this morning. But redirection, how many times, good morning, Sarah. How many times have, you thought something was good and meant for you, but then you get turned away from it and you find out that that was actually the best thing that could have happened for you. So just keep that in mind with this. So there are times when it appears that no matter how deeply you desire something, no matter how hard you work at something, the result you seek always seems to elude you. It's as if you don't really get to be in the game and you feel you're just watching from the sidelines. The appearance of this card indicates that you are not going to attain what you want right now, that indeed your dreams for that exact thing will not be fulfilled. This is a time to radically accept that not everything is available to you when you want it. Take heart, for there are benevolent forces who desire the best for you and have a much clearer idea of what is for your highest good. Rejection is God's protection. Something much better that will make you truly happy is on its way. Trust this. Relationship message. Some relationships carry an innate seed of failure in them that is obvious from the beginning, but the red flags escape your observation or you refuse to acknowledge them. When a relationship is not meant to be, it is not possible to make it be. Rejection is a sign that you're being protected by the divine. If you are the one who must reject another, remember that you do so for both your sakes. For every pot, there is a lid. This one may not be the best fit. And it could be that just at this time, it's not the right fit. Maybe there's some more individual growing that has to occur by one or both parties before that relationship can be the right fit, right? It's not a permanent away from that. It's just right now, this is not what's right. This is not the right setup, the right position, the right relationship. For prosperity, you can strategize and project and systemize and invest all your time and energy. But sometimes your best laid plans seem to go awry in spite of it all. Keep in mind that no effort is wasted. Fail fast and learn from defeat. Then keep going. You will eventually succeed, although perhaps not at this game, not at this time. Know when to fold your cards, right? Nothing's ever lost, because with everything, there's always lessons and learning that happens. In every failure, you learn better how to manage things, or what you can do, what you can't do. Or, I did computer programming systems analyst, and you could say that was a fail because I'm not working as a computer programmer or systems analyst today. I haven't worked in that industry in over 20 years. But I never considered the fact that I spent that time in school learning that trade, or, learning that skill, and that I'm not employed in it now. I don't look at that as a loss. I look at that as it was always a great learning opportunity, and the skills and knowledge that I gained from that was beneficial and was able to be transferred into other areas, right? How many areas can you use computer knowledge, especially nowadays? So just as an example, right? And there's times when, I thought that the relationship that I was in was, the forever relationship, and it didn't end up happening. The next relationship that came along taught me more, seemed healthier, and still wasn't right for me. So I know that on that message that I'm going to keep going, and eventually the right relationship, as I heal me and I get healthier inside, then I'm going to attract healthier partnerships too. So sometimes redirection is protection, right? So justice is the tarot card that I pulled, which is number 11. So we have a 6 and 11 at this point, and 11 doesn't get reduced because it is a master number. So light seer, natural law, balance, karma, truth, wisdom, legal matters, fairness, cause and effect, integrity, objectivity, perspective, and accountability. And I did pick it in the inverted position. So consequences, retribution, karma, injustice and inequity, dishonesty, imbalance, a need to take responsibility for your past actions. Justice asks you to learn from your past experiences, the good, the bad, and the fugly. Take it all and grow from it. This energy is not about perfection, but about fairness and honesty. It highlights clarity of motivation and intention, and it asks to be realistic about the cause and effect of your thoughts and actions. Seek to balance your growth with both positivity and shadow, and learn from the many different parts of you. In your current situation, be impartial as you reframe your reality and work to remove any negative emotional charge from the equation. If fear is causing you to act in a way that you aren't proud of, seek a variety of perspectives before judging another person's actions to be good or bad. The only true path ahead of you is not one that is necessarily black or white, but is always, always one of love. My good karma is delightfully loving, and it can be the most motivating of all teachers. I think that's a beautiful lesson. So something's not for you, whether it's a relationship. Hello, Linda. And look, I can see your name. Yay. Hi, sweetheart. That's okay. I was late today too. I didn't start until like quarter after. I was doing a bunch of different things because I've just moved into this new place. I have boxes and like stuff's all over the place, and I keep picking up things from the different places that I've had them stored, like my mom's, my brother's, and a storage unit. And I keep bringing more stuff in because I'm trying to find the stuff that I need for my environment for the next little bit. I did get my altar. I haven't set it up yet. I'm not sure when I'm going to set it up. Probably today, I think. It would have been nice to do it on the new moon, but I don't want to wait that long because the new moon's like pretty much 3 weeks away still. Good morning. I don't see who that is. Your name is saying Facebook user, but good morning. Welcome. So the last oracle card that I pulled was number 57, unmarked trail, revelation. An unprecedented experience, discovery, revelation. You are called now to embark on a sacred journey. The Arthurian knights, in their quest for the Holy Grail, had to make sure to take an unmarked trail that no one had ever followed. Hi, Connie. Or they would not have accomplished their goal. Likewise, you must enter the dark forest of your soul via a route as yet unidentified to find what you seek. The manicured paths will bring you only temporary pleasure and later great pain. Stop it. You already know there is no reward at the end of the road you are following. You are only killing time. Good morning, Lauren. Pause, breathe, and commit in your heart to a sacred endeavor. Vow to not look for old solutions that may have worked with past challenges. Get out of character, try the outrageous, and keep your quest private. Now is not the time to speak of the voice that called you to embark on the unmarked trail. That time will come. Good morning, Jess. The unmarked trail can be a sign that you have already made a choice, even if you do not want to acknowledge it. Be at peace with what your heart knows to be true. Your heart has already been made up, and your mind will follow. Pack lightly, taking with you only essential beliefs that you know to be trustworthy under all circumstances. The universe has your back. So something's not for you, right? But for some reason, like we always do. And I try not to use concrete words, but so very often we try to hold on to things long past their expiry date for different reasons, right? We'll hold on to a relationship because of fear of being alone. We'll hold on to a job because of fear of lack, because we're worried that we won't have the money. We hold on to all kinds of things for those reasons. And justice is asking you to just take a different perspective and look at things, in that, and maybe have counsel with somebody that maybe can give you, a new perspective rather than judging it in your own way and maybe judging it with past eyes or, in a different light, or holding on to things just out of that fear map. There might be an unmarked trail or a way of looking at things that you haven't considered, that if you just take that opportunity to, step back and look at it from a different perspective or forge off into a different path. Maybe you've always been in a certain way. You've always been in a relationship, let's say, and this unmarked path is just one of a self relationship for you to discover who you really are and take that time to explore that. Right? Maybe it's a totally new career path that you hadn't considered before that will get you out of, say, maybe you're consistently in a toxic environment at your job and you need to let it go. So whether it's a relationship or it's a job, something in your life is not exactly for you, right? It's not exactly for you. Hi. So I don't know if I can tell you exactly when you're going to become a mother. I can pull a card for you and see if something from the cards comes up that gives you an indication of something within your life. If you'd like that, Chetna. And I'm hoping you're saying your name right. But I will pull a card for you. I did have a couple of requests for cards on the replays that people were watching yesterday, and I will have to look at my phone briefly to check and see where that was from. So I'll pull a card for you, Chetna, and then I'm going to do a quick little check-in with my phone to see who was asking for cards later yesterday. I love when I throw them all. I love when I throw all my cards. I'm kidding. Sometimes I shuffle really well, and then other times I'm just a messy shuffler. All right. So let's see what the message is. The card that I pulled for you is 11, which is interesting because justice, it was number 11 this morning already. Okay. So let's see what 11, and I will show you the card in a second here. So the card that I pulled for you, Chetna, is called By the Book, but I pulled it in protection stage. Okay. So abiding by social rules, conformity, respecting cultural or family customs, universal laws, conformity. The oracle's message: the divine works within a structure of divine laws and principles that provides a framework for human experience and evolution. The law of abundance, the law of prayer, the law of karma, the law of attraction, the law of thought, the law of compensation, and the law of nature are only a few that are known. These principles create perfect order and operate with a kind of precision beyond human understanding. Even revolution has its place in universal law. Human beings, in turn, have their own laws and customs that vary from culture to culture and family to family. Laws keep Laws keep social order and govern behavior, reflecting on instinctive understanding that harmony is important. This is a time to learn these laws and conform to them rather than being the rebel and flouting them. When this card appears, submit to structure and follow the rules, even if they seem to make no sense. Release resistance, for universal laws will correct any disharmony. Open your eyes to those universal laws, and it will be easier to go by the book this time. Now, the protection message, Chetna. Now is the time for a real change in consciousness as you are incited to revolt. Challenge the structures that are limiting authentic progress. It is not enough to rebel in small ways. This is a call to revolution. Focus on what you really want to achieve, regardless of whether it feels so far outside the box that the established order may reject it. Genius, invention, and transformation are rarely comfortable and less likely to be accepted by the mainstream. It may be time for you to say no to the way of your group. Take a stand and make real changes. It could be that the structure of your inner world is alerting you to the need for a complete overhaul. This is a time for transformation, so let go of the fear of change. Your intuition will lead you through the darkness. There is no turning back now. Trust that light will dawn. Epiphanies will surely lead to miracles. Okay, so I'm not sure how you feel about that message, about maybe looking at things a little bit differently, maybe looking at different opportunities or different potentials to get what you want, or changing the way that you're thinking. And maybe it's time to look at your mindset, look at your, the laws of nature, the way that they exist. Okay, and see if that helps you at all. And if not, you can always connect with me and I can look at doing a full spread for you. I can do that as well. Okay. And look at some of the other decks and do an actual spread. Good morning. Hi, Monica. So just give me 1 second. I just want to check my phone real quick, as I said I was going to, because I want to make sure that I'm not missing any of the comments from yesterday, which is a very real possibility that I might miss some of them, but that's okay, because if you're here today, that's important, and we can work on that. Not from that one, and that'll be the problem, is finding all of the, because I post to several different spaces. Okay, so because next time I will, when somebody reads it after, I'll just write them down on a little piece of paper. See, I need to learn something as I go to. I will just record their names in a separate space so I don't have to go through and do this. So I'll pull a card for you now, Jess. And if anyone else wants a card, just let me know and I will pull a card for you. And if I do see a comment later on, I'll write down your name so that I can pull a number for you at another time. So if you want a card, just let me know in the comments, and please leave me your name. I see Jess's name now. I see Lauren. I see Linda and Chetna, but the other ones that have appeared. So Connie, I don't see your name, and Sarah, I didn't see your name, and as well Monica. So those are names that I'm thank you for putting your names out so that I can see who it is. But if you want a card, just leave a post and let me know. Hi, Monica. No, I'll do your card in a moment. I was trying to look and see who all was asking for a card yesterday, but I'll do a card for you after I do Jess's. I feel like this is the card for Jess. Well, Jess, I just read by the book and I just pulled by the book again. but I pulled it in the upright position. So I'll read about the relationship and the prosperity message by the book. And just interesting that I did that again. Yes, I will pull a card for you, Lauren, for sure. So I'll pull all those cards this morning. So besides all the, like the essential, all of the laws of attraction and stuff, Jess, the other message. So with relationship, getting along with others entails understanding and respecting who they have become as a result of their environment, culture, and experience. Find the middle ground that allows the relationship to flourish while honoring the individuality of the other person. Play things by the book instead of trying to break the rules or pressure others to conform to the way you want them to do. Your connection will deepen as a result. Prosperity message. At this time, you can expect a return on your investment. Whatever you have pursued, be it a dream you've long cherished, a skill you've cultivated, or a service you're called to, will come to you if you're willing to go by the book. You don't need to reinvent the wheel to be successful. Follow in the footsteps of others who have already achieved the things you're striving for. You can learn a lot by observing the structures that are already working. Your creative projects and commitment to prosperity are in alignment with the needs of the world, but impatience may tempt you to cut corners to get there more quickly. Stick with what you know works, and you will attract abundance. So it's good that I pulled a different card for you finally, because I kept pulling 2 days in a row. I pulled the same card for you. So that's, but it's interesting that I pulled the same card back to back. I always think it's interesting when that happens. And I'm really loving this cardinal that's delighting in this tree outside my house. It's quite fantastic. And other birds are there too, but oh, there's a big old robin just flew by. So this will be for Monica, and then I'll do Linda, and then I'll pull a card for Lauren. Okay, in that order. So let's see for Monica. Sorry, Monica. Keep your name in mind while I'm shuffling. I pulled this one the other day. Fork in the road, number 13. And I might have actually pulled it for you, Monica. Pulled it for somebody. Number 13. Fork in the road. And I think we know just with, the term fork in the road, that there's a path, one path or the other. You have to choose a direction. So time to make a decision, considering the consequences as you prepare to act, owning up to your obligation to make a necessary choice. Every choice has a consequence. You've arrived at a fork in the road and are being asked to come to a decision. Will you further your dreams by choosing left or by choosing right? Will you take the road less traveled or the one well worn by others who have come before you? This is your choice and yours alone to make. Circumstances and other people will not make it for you. Be present and do not avoid this junction, for it is an important crossroads. Take heart and know, as no matter which path you choose, you will have a rich and meaningful experience. Relationship message. You've reached a moment of truth in the evolution of your relationship. Which will you choose? To be open to the possibility of love, or to remain isolated, to go deeper or commit to mutual passion, or to walk away. This is a time to take responsibility for your truest desire and follow it. Be honest with yourself about what you're willing to do, invest, and give, then choose. You cannot make a wrong choice. If you move forward with a relationship, know that it will be based in truth and authenticity. You will have made a conscious decision rather than simply hanging on because you don't want to be alone, or ending things because you're afraid of the intensity of genuine connection. All roads lead to the lessons you must learn in your relationships. Regardless of the decision you make, it will place you on the path to a truer experience of the heart. Prosperity message. You've come as far as you can. Is it a Cleat-on? Is that you, Monica? Because this is your card if it's you. And if it's somebody else, just let me know, because that's what's called a Cleat-on, is when a message is being delivered to somebody else and it resonates so much with you. It's just that the message is just being delivered through a different format. You didn't have to ask for it. It's just going to appear for you. So you've come as far as you can on this part of your journey, and now you're faced with a choice. Inherent in this choice is the need for change, for evolution, and for a bettering of your circumstances. Narrow it down to just a single question. Who do I need to become, and what do I need to believe in order to live a life of prosperity? Answer honestly and from the heart. Then the decision about which way to go will be effortless. Know that abundance is all around you. Choose to see it, and it will be easier to settle on a direction. For the way will be made clear by your intuition, which knows how to steer you toward your well being. And that is a true message for anybody listening, right? Who do you want to be? Who do you need to become? And what do you need to believe in order to live a life that you desire? It doesn't have to be of prosperity. Not everybody's looking for a massively, like for this huge prosperity life. It could be for health and wellness. It could be, who do you want to be? If you want to be healthy and, fit, then there's things that you have to actually do to get there. You can't just, wish it and it happens. So this is now for Linda, my lovely Linda. I hope you're doing well, my friend. I love your profile picture, the new one that you have up. It's very neat. I like it. I like it. So Linda. Let's see what the Oracle cards are saying for you today. Here and now. Number 32. Here and now. She's definitely staked her claim. And you can see there's two posts, the past and the future. And she's just sitting, floating on an egg. And she's got her little flag stuck in the top of it. And it says here and now. And there's little hearts that are floating around there, right? So let's see what our little message is from here and now for Linda. So the essential meaning, being fully present in the moment, living one day at a time. The Oracle's message, everything happens in the now, in the present. Only this moment counts. You have what it takes to handle anything today if you let go of the need to look into the future or reflect on the past. Be present and notice what is going on right now. This very moment has the potential for you to create miracles in your life. This is a message for everybody. We should all be in the here and now, right? When we're in the past, we're ruminating over things that have already happened. It's gone, it's done. We can't change it, right? When we're looking at the future, we're thinking about things, and typically in a negative way. We're worrying about what hasn't come yet, or worrying about how it's going to come, or worrying about, like what the next day is going to bring, or what possible bad things are going to come our way. Being in the here and now, this is the only moment that actually counts, because it's the only moment that you can effectively do anything to change anything, right? And in this moment, it's the only real, true moment, right? The only moment of existence. So, relationship message. It is easy to yearn for a love affair or friendship you may not have right now, one that is more romantic, more fun, more reliable, more passionate. The good old days are gone, and a new day has dawned. Let your heart trust that you have everything you need right now, whether you have the relationship you desire or not. Tomorrow is beyond your reach. Yesterday cannot return. The now is all that is available to you. Stay present and aware in this moment as you cherish and approve of your beautiful self. You are a magnet for love. Spirit is madly in love with you right now. Did you know that? Turn to Spirit to feel the joy of love in the here and now. And know that I love you too. You're very loved. And mostly I hope that you're learning to love yourself and give that to yourself. The prosperity message. So what you are working on is golden, and your efforts will leave a powerful legacy. Focus not on meeting a goal in the far off future, but on creating your dream now, releasing your desire for an outcome, and owning that it already exists. It will appear in the material world as if by magic. Claim your prosperity now. The essence is more important than the form. When you are immersed in prosperous thoughts, you automatically tune into a sense of timelessness and unlimited potential. You can act as if, in spite of the temporary outer conditions. You are prosperous at this moment. What you think now becomes your reality. Stay present. Awesome. Right? It's beautiful for everybody. This is like, I love the here and now card when it comes up, because I like giving that message to people, because it's something, I've been saying for so long about how this is the only moment that actually counts. And when we're in the past, like we're in such a, usually it's causing that depression state, right? When we're ruminating about all those past experiences, because we either are looking at the past negative experiences, right? Or if we are ruminating about the past, the good things, it's usually in the sense of that longing, like you're missing that and you wish you could somehow bring it back, because we tend to look backwards at some of our experiences with that rose-colored glasses, right? And then when we're looking at the future, we really do tend to be looking at worst case scenarios, or, the negative that could come to us. We get into that worry state of mind. So it's really, really important for us to stay in the here and now and balance our energies into the moment and just focus on what is actually happening, right? And I used to say that to my mom. Even I would tell her, she'd be talking about all of these things that are going on, outside in the world, and, things that are far beyond our control. And she'd be all worked up about it. And I would just say to her, but just focus on right now in your home. How is everything in your home? How are you? How is your life? How are the people in your life? Do you have what you need? Are you okay? Are you safe? Right. And when you bring it back to that, then it's much better to be just what is going on right now in this present moment. So this one is for my lovely Lauren. And I know you were asking about a message about your son in your relationship. So let's see what the message we get for that, for Lauren. Okay. And then after that, I can ask someone, I can do another card for someone. So, but right now it's Lauren who's asking about her son and her relationship. So I pulled community, which is number 8, and I pulled it in the protection state. So let's see what number 8 has to say. So community, belonging, being seen and understood by others, like-minded connections, a sense of family and friendship, knowing your place in the world. This card signals a new affiliation with a group. Humans are social creatures, and we need to know that we are useful to our families and communities. In a community, everyone has an important function and feels, I matter. Membership in the group provides a sense of belonging, of kinship, and of purpose that comes from working together for the greater fulfillment of all. Perhaps you are a part of a spiritual community or an artistic one. Perhaps you are in a learning community where you share love of education. Regardless of its form or focus, your community brings you joy. You will be inspired by it and want to contribute to it. Your contribution may be as small as showing up or as large as becoming its leader. No matter your position in the group, your presence is needed. Now, when it's in the protection state, what it says is, beware of compromising your integrity in order to belong. How do you dim your light or change yourself so others will accept you in the group? Do you hide who you really are in order to play a role within the larger whole? This will never fulfill you. Now is a time to assess your willingness to be real. Stand tall, be you. Authenticity is true self-expression and the only way to empower yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself and step into the role your heart tells you to take. Making yourself small bears too high a cost. So, in the sense of the relationship with your son, are you showing up authentically with him? Right? Are you being true to yourself within that relationship? Right? And we can't force change, for sure. We can't force change. I have 2 sons myself, and at varying times they've been in situations that I wish they weren't in, and I wish I could protect them from, or save them, or rescue them out of. But I can't rescue them. They have to rescue themselves. Right? It's that kind of that Nobody could have stopped me from experiencing the pain that I experienced, because it was through the pain that I experienced that allowed me to heal, because I needed to know that that was a possibility, or know that I didn't want to deal with that stuff anymore. I didn't want to be in that situation. So I was going to do the work that was necessary to get change to happen. I couldn't do it just by somebody telling me it had to be done. I would have been like, what do you know? You're not me. You're not experiencing my life. You have no idea what I'm going through right now. Right. I would have disregarded what they were saying. I went to people for counsel all the time. I did, because I didn't trust my decision making, or I wanted people to either, oftentimes when we go to people and we're like, hey, this is happening and I need advice or whatever, or hey, this is happening, and you talk to them, it's usually you're just venting out your stuff. You just want someone to say, I see you and I hear you, or yeah, I understand that your perspective is true in this situation. You kind of want someone to like agree with you, right? Sometimes we look for that, and sometimes we're looking for actual direction. And I used to do that a lot, but I hope that and I don't know the details, thorough details about, what's going on there, but I hope that, being authentic, and, understanding that everybody has a specific role to play, and allowing them to just play their role. I hope that helps you a little bit and helps you to show up. I think that when we show up authentically, that's when we do a lot of healing anyway. Right. So Chandni, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. I will pull a card for you, and I'm sending hearts to Connie too. All righty. Chandni. You're welcome, Lauren. And if you ever want to just connect with me, if you ever want a full reading done where it's just one-on-one. Yes, absolutely. See, a cleat on for Connie. Right? Showing up authentically, right? I do that all the time. Sometimes I think, oh my God, why did I say that? Because, maybe I've, pushed that person to not, necessarily be in my life anymore, because I came off, asserting my needs or putting in boundaries. And then I realized it's exactly what I have to do to have the life that I need and I deserve. And if what I've done isn't okay, well, then they're obviously not my person, or they're not meant to be in my life. So I pulled exchanging gifts for you, Chandni, and I pulled it in protection. So exchanging gifts is all about that law of receiving and giving, right? That you have to be both a giver and a receiver, and you have to be open to receiving. Not all of us are super open to receiving. Some of us are. That's so cool. Your Lionsgate birthday of 8/8. Very cool. Very cool. So there you go. That number was definitely meant for you. 27. I stopped at 30 for some reason. So exchanging gifts. I'll read the essential meaning, like the regular meaning behind it, and then I'll tell you what the protection meaning is. So just listen for this. Okay, dear. Essential meanings: the law of giving and receiving, currency, trade-offs, weighing costs, and determining value. But first, a sip. I sip, you sip. That's what my one friend said. When I used to say I'd feel bad about taking a drink. You sip, we sip. So you're entering into a productive and enriching time when all manner of opportunity are being offered to you. You have everything you need to seize them. Yet, in order to honor them, you must put in the time, exchange your experience and skills, and commit heart and soul to what you've chosen, what you're choosing to pursue. You can do it. You have what it takes to be successful if you align with the law of giving and receiving. You must engage in a dance of give and take, push and pull, doing and being. If you let fear guide your choices, you could deplete yourself or create an imbalance. This is not a time of just do. It's like I always say, you're a human being, not a human doing. This is not, use your currency wisely and be mindful of the value you bring to others in your life. So the protection message: be careful of what you pray for, because you might just get it. And then realize you don't want to face the hefty price tag that comes with it. You may find yourself in a situation you've always desired, but know you will have to walk away from or even fail at it because you can't or won't pay the dues it asks of you. I keep reading in advance, like I'm saying words and combining them with the one I'm reading. If you want to be a famous musician, you have to practice your craft every day. If you want to be a millionaire, you have to be responsible for managing the money and paying the taxes. Even a windfall bears a cost. It's okay though, because spirit will help you achieve balance over time. Another message here reminds you that being only the giver and not the receiver plays out in many relationships in your life where you find yourself in victim mode, in a codependent dynamic, or holding on to a false sense of control. Others may push you to continue to prove yourself. The time has come to distance yourself from this kind of imbalance. Be aware of the need for both give and take is the first step to your true destiny. It's all good and getting better. Not only can you handle this, but you can flourish as a result of it. And that's a very true thing to say, right? Like a lot of us would be like, I want to be this, or I want to have this, or I want to do that. But are you willing to put the work in to be there, right? If you're like, oh, if you wanted to be in a fitness competition, let's say, like where they do the muscle stuff, the posing, if you wanted to be in a fitness competition, well, you know how much work that takes, right? It's not just exercising. It's definitely being very clean with your diet, right? With knowing your macros and your micros and all of that stuff. Like you're gonna have to do a lot of work to be in a state of physical to do that competition thing, right? Like that's a lot of work. So maybe that's not what you actually want. Maybe you just want to be fit. You just want to be that fit, right? Because you don't want to actually do that work. So anyway, that's a good thing to actually to listen to for all of us, right? Is make sure that what you ask for, you're willing to put in the work to get it. But if you are, then spirit will be there to help you along the way. And also to make sure that you are open to receiving, you're not just giving. Because there's a lot of us out there, we're very like spiritual, or we're, service oriented, and we're like, I want to make, and for me even, I want to create impact. I do every day. I'm on for an hour in the morning and I do it for free, right? And I do a lot of things for free. That's my give. But at what point am I receiving, right? Like there has to be that balance back and forth. That law of give and take has to exist. So if you're not receiving things, then look at what are you doing? What is your block around receiving? Is it a mindset thing? Do you not think you're deserving of what should come to you? Things like that, right? So beautiful. I love you too, Connie. And yes, good messages for everybody. I think they're really great messages. Even if you weren't the one that pulled the Oracle card, any of the messaging that comes with these cards, or that I share, to elaborate on the messaging of the cards, I think it's valuable for everybody. And that's why I love doing it this way. And I hope, and I thank you for the messages, and thank you for joining me on it. So I didn't see anybody else wanting a card, unless Connie wants a card, because I think she's the only one that didn't get one this morning. But if Connie wants a card, I'll pull a card for you. And otherwise, I will hop off and let you guys go on with your day. And then I'm going to post this up to Spotify, because I share this as a podcast on Spotify now. Because like I said, messages that come for other people are sometimes meant for you, and a Cleon is just the way that it gets to you. So yeah. Okay. I'll pull a card for you, Connie. That's it. We're doing it. Let's see what other cool message we can get for everybody. That cardinal's still bopping around in that tree out there. So it's a female cardinal. So it's not, like how a male cardinal is like solid red with a little black patching. But this one is more red. And like, it's interesting that the males are the very colorful in the animal kingdom, whereas in the human world, it's the women that are all, wearing our pretty outfits and colorful makeup and stuff like that. And in the animal world, it tends to be more the women doing in the animal world, the men are the ones that are doing attracting the mate to them. They're like doing their little shows or displays, especially in the bird world, right? The men doing their little dances and puffing out their chest and having their colorful display of stuff. And meanwhile, in the human world, it's the women that do it. It's kind of interesting. But that cardinal is just beautiful. Okay, Connie, I think I've shuffled definitely enough while I talked. And that one right there. And I pulled community again. That's 2 cards today. The same, like pulling, number 11 back to back, community. So I don't need to really read the whole message about community, but it's a very big message today. Number 8, community. So let's read the relationship message. So you're discovering the essential qualities that you share with another, and perhaps also those you don't share. There are times when you follow and the other person leads, and times when you lead and the other follows. The appearance of this card points to the importance of learning the proper dance between you and another. Accepting the truth that everyone has flaws is part of that dance. Yet you are also being asked to be aware of the dynamics that you don't want to repeat. You're in the perfect place to make changes in order to experience the best version of who you can be together. And in prosperity or growth in that area, whenever you're in a community of like-minded others, there is a powerful opportunity to reap great abundance. It's essential to ask, what can I contribute, rather than what can I get from this? Figure out a need and look to fill it. Something meaningful will manifest. Even if what manifests is small, it's a sign that the doors of opportunity will swing open wider. There is also another meaning of this card to consider. Don't try to be all things to all people. Choose your role and be true to it, and serve from a sense of authenticity. There is no greater feeling of accomplishment than knowing you have a purpose. I try that all the time, to do everything, very fiercely independent. And I think that's, after, the stuff that around my traumas, right? My dad was a very bad person, and I was lucky, absolutely lucky, that he was not a part of my life, because I would have been more traumatized. Even though my life took me on a path of more trauma anyway, I do believe that the trauma I would have suffered had I stayed living in the home of with my dad would have been way, way worse than the traumas that I did experience. So even though it caused an abandonment wound, that created from that, because this is how you go through trauma, you reframe your things, right? So the fact that he left was such a good thing, because it also made me fiercely independent. It made me have amazing perseverance. And I am very much one of those, like an independent woman, that I can do all kinds of things. I can change my oil. I can change my tires. I can take the garbage out. I'm not above that. I don't think a man has to come along and do all these things for me. But I do have to give myself the ability to be open to sharing in roles and being okay with being, feminine, and having that as well. But it's knowing your roles. You don't have to be everything. I don't have to do everything. There's other people that are really skilled at doing, like my brakes, for instance, this year when I was trying to change my brakes, and, I could have done it. It's not that I can't do it. I broke the one tool to take the one bolt off that locks onto your tires. So the socket that takes that bolt off broke. And by the time I got the other one in to replace it, it was on Thanksgiving Day, and I didn't have enough time, and the weather was really terrible. I like all of these things, and I take them as signs from the universe, just saying, just don't. So I ended up taking it to a shop and having them actually put the brakes on, which I feel better, because I know my brakes were put on safely, and there's no issue. But you don't always have to do everything or be everything. Know what role you're good at, and just enjoy that role, and let other people do their role. Right? In a community, that's how we all work. Everybody has their individual roles. There's somebody that's going to be the nurturer, and there's somebody that's going to be the provider, and there's going to be somebody, in a real community. Yeah. Smarter, not harder, for sure. I love it. I love it. Learning to work that. I need to read more about feminine energy and start just owning into that. And definitely working smarter, not harder. So this one I'm going to pull for Cassandra. Okay, Monica. And then we'll call it for today. Okay. And we'll see what we get at tomorrow. Let's see. And so just so you know, the way that I do my cards is, I shuffle them, and sometimes I shuffle, like I swear people would probably say, you're just trying to shuffle the dots off of them. Then I spread them out in a fan. So there's no possible way, like for me to be able to pull the same card. It really is that it's meant to be that message has to come up twice, and sometimes in, one was in protection and then the other one wasn't. Both times I think it seemed to be that way. The card for Cassandra I pulled is Deep Knowing, number 43, which would be a 7. And I did pull it in the protection state. So again, I'll read the essential and oracle message, but then I'll just read the protection message for it. So number 43. Deep knowing, intuition, listening to the oracle within, empathy, hypersensitivity. The oracle's message: intuition is the faculty that allows you to enter into a dialogue with source, the consciousness that you are a part of but cannot see with the naked eye. It's perplexing that people are taught to ignore this natural capacity to navigate their journeys, to access their inner guidance. Know that you have an ability to read between the lines and find all the truth that was missing when the story was told. This deep knowing allows you to open the door to wisdom far greater than what is available in the limitations of human experience. You're given information that may make no sense whatsoever to the logical mind or 5 senses, but which is 100% correct and true. The trick is to listen and then act accordingly. You're now invited into the sacred dialogue of deep knowing. So tune in and trust your vibes. They will be right. And ask, and you will receive answers from an unusual source. The protection message: you are in empathy overload and need to get grounded again, so tune out for a bit. Hypersensitive, you're suffering from psychic exhaustion. This signals a time for a recharging of your batteries. Set energetic boundaries, take a salt bath, empty your mind, and get back to you. It's not a time to be too open. Soon enough, you can let your guard down. Right now, you need self-care and self-love. It's time to say no thank you to anyone in your life who exhausts you. Won't that feel good? I don't know what your daughter's experiencing right now, but I hope that message resonates well for her. I think it resonates for all of us, right? I'm teaching my son that because, my son went from living and working in Alberta. And for people that don't know, because of where Alberta resides in Canada, it's a part of the prairie systems, and it's so open. And it's one of the things about Alberta is this big sky. It feels very open, and you feel like you can just breathe easier in that environment. When you go to, and I know this from last year, I came to Ontario and then I moved back to Alberta. So I was Alberta, Ontario. I'm back in Ontario now. And when my son made the transition, the fact that there's so much rolling land, like you come in through the Canadian Shield and you come down in, and there's like such different elevations in Ontario with the landscape that the sky is smaller and you feel much more closed in Ontario. It's just a natural thing with the environment. And so that's one part of, that change of environment and feeling closed in. But he also went from living in his home, which originally was shared with just him and his partner, but then was shared with his partner and me. Now he's living in a home, he's staying with my brother and his family while he's transitioning into Ontario. So he's around like a whole bunch of people and different energy, and there's all kinds of socialization going on, and he's just exhausted all the time. And I'm trying to teach him how to create an energetic shield for himself. And I keep telling him, like, zip up your egg, like climb in your egg and zip it up. I'm like, literally visualize standing in an egg, right? Standing in an egg and going zzz. And this is your shield around yourself that covers you completely and protects you from that in the energies that are around you. And then take time for solitude and solace where you're not talking, you're not interacting with other people. Go out and go out in the natural environment and just absorb that peace and quiet. Like if you went into the woods right now, right? Like into the woods, it's so peaceful and it shuts out everything. One of the things that I do, and this is for your daughter, because like for Cassandra, is I will oftentimes use a headset, and especially over the ear ones. My over the ear ones are probably in my bedroom, but I use the over the ear ones and I walk around with them in my ears, not necessarily playing anything. I mean, you can, but I don't necessarily play anything. I just put them in my ears and it silences the world a bit. And it makes me feel like I'm a little, like life is just a little more muted. So it shuts it out a little bit more, right? Which is just really cool. Hi, Amanda. You're catching me at the very end of the live. And hi, Cassie. New York, beautiful. Are you in like the city or in the outside of New York? I once drove all the way around Lake Ontario to experience, New York, and it's beautiful. It really has a lot of similar landscape to Ontario. And also as being Mohawk from our whole, goes all through the Adirondacks there. So it was really awesome. I love you guys too. All right. Well, I'm going to pop off for today because I got a fluffy friend over there who would like to go out and experience some nature himself. And I would as well. I'm trying not to say the W word because that'll have him popped up and ready to go in a heartbeat. And I'd like to run to the ladies' room first. So we'll just talk about the W word after we get that done. But I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow around 9 a.m. as well. This will be 9 a.m. Eastern will be the time that I'll be on going forward, and that'll be good. Oh, my son. I did all the numbers. So I'm a 6'4", and my son is actually a 1'5". I think, or 2'5". Sorry, he's a 2'5". So yes, he is a hermit with the 5. So I've done all of my family, and that's one of the things that I do in my programming is I look at your human design and I do that talk too. So my programming involves a whole bunch of different things, but part of it is the oracle and getting messages from the oracle and those readings. But I love you guys, and thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you tomorrow morning and we'll do more. But I love that. Yes, the hermit needing time alone for sure. But I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. That's okay. That's okay. I knew what you meant. It was perfect. And yes, you're right. He is a hermit. He needs his time alone. It gets to be too much. And then he gets cranky and he just like, he almost gets explosive because he's just like, go away, get away, get away, get away, get away. I can't take it. Right? And I'm like, you need your alone time. Just go find some peace. Just go find some peace. Get away from everybody and all the talk and all the chatter and all the different energies and that teaching him with the egg. And hopefully he gets into doing it. But yeah, anyway, love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful